Carcat. Being insulted at this kind of conjecture it's amazing. Anyway. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pesterquest. Let's check out our chum roll just for the heck of it. We befriended Equius, and we befriended Terezi, one of the best troll girls, in my opinion. You are allowed yours. Let's move on. We have team charge today, and we got Tavros, and we got 2 routes for Aradia. I wonder if we're gonna bring up, the fact that she should be dead, but she's not. That's a huge thing. Because all of the, promotional material and stuff for this, they show her being alive. And I was like, the way this is going, she should be dead. I guess this is why they're saving her route as second on this list. It's probably something big and scary. Anyway, let's continue on. Tavros, glimmering gold and cold iron. So, his heart and his legs? Oh, yeah! Bring on the bronze blood guitars. Anyway, you're enjoying a brisk, head-clearing walk in the Alternian moonlight when the plot comes screaming towards you. Literally, you don't have time for introspection. Oh gosh, Tavros' voice. What did I do for Tavros? I think it was sort of nasally, a little faltering, kind of monotone. So let's see. I'm sorry. You turn your head to see a guy in a wheelchair whizzing down a nearby hill. He's got a phone on his hand, in one hand, making it difficult for him to control his descent with the other. You quickly rush over in time to see him hit a rock and go flying through the air with an impressive arc. You bring the fallen wheelchair over to him. He stares at you for a second and pulls himself back into it with a grunt. I'm going to turn the volume down on my end. Hopefully you guys will be fine. Thank you, weird and ugly alien stranger. Hey, that's rude. Once he's settled into his chair, you look over the boy you just helped. He's lanky and scrawny, except for his oversized horns, giving the impression of a boy going through a very awkward puberty. His wheelchair is simple and flimsy, and it looks like it's gone through a lot of wear and tear. Ah, nice. It seems Tavros' body shape is identical to my own. Okay. Oh, introductorily speaking, I should say my name is Tavros. Tavros! As this is now usual for you, the name sounds familiar, even though you're not sure any of your other friends mentioned him by name. You give him a proper greeting and then ask what happened, and he nods towards an old watchtower at the top of the hill. I was attempting to scale towards the tower, to acquire a rare fetus spawn go monster, what is named Wolfine. Fetus spawn go! I'm currently going through the Feebas mission myself. Oh, why is it so hard to evolve Feebas? I mean, I know why it is, but but I love my Feebas Venus Day. She is the best. Anyway. It's ranked Aether Mythic Triple Rare class, which is one of the rarest of all, at least concerning monsters that can be found in lower blood neighborhoods. Uh-huh, I see. Even Pokemon Go is blood hemotype racist, whatever the term is, I forget. But it appears to be tragically out of my reach, no matter how much I believe in my ability to pursue it. Oh, Tavros. You don't know what a fetus spawn is, but maybe you could help? You wrangled a few monsters in your time. What? You know, you could help him push him up the hill. Maybe fight some giant, horrifying beast. The usual. Wow, I normally am expected to do everything myself. Always. The only trolls who offer to help me are those who live too far away to actually do anything of consequence. That suspicious glance. Anyway. Which is fine, I get it, but it's pretty useless to me. Anyway. No. What? I don't want your help. On account of it, if I take it, I would be weakening myself and failing to grow as a troll. I will just have to try again and again and get grievously hurt in the process, probably. Don't worry. Oh boy. Tavros. Tavros begins to wheel back towards the hill. You know how this story goes. You'll have to spend your entire evening convincing this poor troll boy that it's okay to accept help from others. You launch into a gentle pitch about how help from a friend can... Oh, well, if you say so, then I accept your help. Oh, that was easy. You follow Tavros up the hill. When he reaches the steepest part, his wheels begin to lose traction. You step in behind him and give him the little push he needs. The two of you are successful in scaling the hill, and Tavros grins and taps on his phone. Oh, it's a phone game. No real monsters involved. Holy crap, this is new to you. Yes, Wolvapine is now acquired. Thank you so greatly. Maybe the cartoons for Wrigglers were right all along. And friendship is truly the greatest source of power to exist. Finally, someone who gets you. You ask him if he wants a quick ride home, and he tilts his head in confusion. I already have a ride always. I'm sitting on it. Not like that. You tell him it's hard to explain. Just trust you on this one. Okay, let's go. With that, you grip his chair and focus your energy and zap on over to his hive. Whoa, are you magic? Yes. Awesome. Do you know any fairies? No. Hold on. Paying attention to your window. It's broken. Why? Anyway. Shucks. Watch it, son. Can't just be throwing your shucks busters around like that, man. Anyway. Tavros glances around the room and you follow suit. Your eyes settle on an advertisement for the theatrical run of Pupa Pan. A pinch of special stardust is all it takes to fly, brought to you by Her Imperious Condescension's 19th favorite theater company. Reserved seating for high bloods, hecklers will be called. The rest of the room is rather plain and sparsely decorated. The floor is scattered with messy gaming supplies. This is my hive. What do you think? Would you characterize this pad as sufficiently cool? Look at the little blushy on his face. Look at this boy. Look at him. Anyway, you glance at a framed picture of a fey trickster in booty shorts. Sure, yeah, this pad is cool as hell. Excellent. I hoped you would. Your approval is most good to have. I thought you might be uninterested on account of me being boring and kinda sad. Aw, boring and sad kids are your favorite. You tell Tavros. Wait, that sounds terrible. Ignore that. You mean you relish the opportunity to make people less sad. Oh, don't worry then, because I'm definitely sorrowful enough to satisfy. Also, I'm not great at talking either, so we have at least one point of failure in common. Ah, boy, Tavros. You don't know how to speak. Okay. Thanks. Tavros flashes you a thumbs up and a wink. He wheels closer to you and one of his scattered cards crunches under a tread and gets stuck, necessitating a bit of finagling. You admit you're a little surprised by the wheelchair. Your experiences on Alternia would suggest that their culture is not very kind to the disabled. Oh, it very isn't. There's a long story behind the fact of me being like this. Kanaya says not to talk about it because it hurts my self-esteem. Oh, okay. That's fine. You turn your attention to some of his cards. Perhaps he can teach you? Well, if you insist, I will reveal to you my tragic backstory. Yeah, how's our character gonna feel about Vriska after this? Anyway. I used to be more of a hardcore gamer who would do the extreme role plays. And I had a friend, or I thought she was my friend, who I did Flarp with. Oh, you're familiar with Flarp. You're a Lard Bard. Hey, you remember! You remembered! Aw, thank you, game. Come to think of it, you've met a great Flarp friend who he might love to meet. Well, I don't play anymore. Because this old friend of mine did a bad thing to me, resulting in a chain of revenge that was very tragical. Essentially, the story is that I was thrown off a cliff, psychically, and became heavily injured, which resulted in my legs not working. Oh, that sounds terrible. The culprit continues to hassle me sometimes in ways which are supposedly remorseful, but mostly continue to make me feel bad. For instance, trying to make me learn how to climb stairs or fight better, or telling me I'm useless and awful because I can't. Although she also sent me this 4-wheeled device which helps me not be cold, so that's nice, I guess. Although maybe she wouldn't have done that if Kanaya didn't say to. I don't know, she's hard to understand. Sometimes very nice, and other times extremely not nice. And I can't figure out how she truly feels about me. Scorpios, am I right? Actually, I don't know. I just hear that a lot from my people my friends and stuff that like know zodiac signs and everything like that. They're just like, Scorpios. Ugh. And I'm like, okay. Wow, this girl Tavros is talking about seems like a real piece of work. You're glad none of your friends or anything like that. I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. Yeah, but maybe it's best not to think about her, actually. Kanaya was right. Why don't I teach you how to play... Tavros! Oh gosh, is she here? Tavros freezes up instinctively. Oh no, that's her! The one who injured me. Oh no, your spine ice is over. You recognize that telltale exaggerated call? But how can this be? How can your dear, sweet, precious friend Vriska have done such a horrible thing to... Okay, no, maybe this tracks. Maybe she did do one thing wrong. Vriska does things wrong all the time. Don't make excuses for Vriska. She does good things, she does bad things. We accept that she does both those things because she is as gray as her skin when it comes to morality. The end. Let's move on. But why? This isn't like the other kids she killed. You know Vriska's violent and volatile. She had to survive. But to harass Tavros after the fact instead of just feeding him to her Lucis, it doesn't make sense. Well, that's weird logic we got going on in that, where we're like, why would she injure a troll and not feed him to her Lucis? Anyway. Hey, Tavros, you haven't been answering my messages. We need to talk. Her voice comes from outside the window as it moves around the perimeter of the house. You glance at Tavros' stricken face as you hear the sound of keys jingling in a lock. Ah, she has keys to his hive? Tavros groans and leans back into his chair. Vriska barges into the respite block, then freezes up. Oh, hey. Hey, you say in an awkward way. Vriska seems uncomfortable. I didn't know you knew this dork. It's a friendship in process. Tavros has told you some things about their past together? Ugh, of course he has. Okay, listen. I know it sounds bad because it is. I get that, okay? Back then, it was less than a sweep ago. I was part of a Flarp campaign that went way off the rails, and Tavros ended up getting thrown off a cliff. It was basically my fault, but that's all in the past now. Things are better now. I hooked Tavros up with this sweet wheelchair and everything. It's not that sweet. Shut up, Tavros. I'm talking about how terrible I feel about hurting you. Tavros cringes and you try to intercede on his behalf. Why is Vriska here? Oh, right. I'm here to extend an olive branch. Very magnanimously so, if you ask me. 2 things. 1, do they have olives on this planet? 2, olive bloods would probably take offense to this remark. I don't even remember how olive branch came to be in our culture. How did that become an idiom? Anyway. Let's move it on. Terezi and I are getting the band back together. Not for Flarp, obviously. That ship has sailed. But we're gonna whip this planet into shape and we need all the help we can get. You've spent enough time moping around uselessly. It's time for some action. You're in, right? No? What do you mean, no? I mean, I don't really want to do anything exciting or dangerous like that. And especially because you're gonna be involved, I don't think it would be good for me to also be... Oh, come on. Things are totally square between us, Tavros. We all got hurt. Besides, I'm just trying to help you live up to your potential. You could be somebody. You could finally start living up to your legacy. I don't want to be somebody. At least you're not your kind of somebody. Tough luck, Toreador. None of us get that choice. If nothing changes by the time your rites of maturation roll around, you're screwed. The drones will call you in an instant. Vriska turns to you, her eyes is wide, her fist trembling. Her frustrated glare barely conceals the desperation beneath. I mean, you agree with me, right? Tavros needs to shape up. He needs us. It's time we put the past behind us and move on. I'm trying to help him. She leans closer. It's obvious she wants you to back her up. Don't take a side. Side with Tavros, side with Vriska. That sounds like a lot of bad choices. I might have to get a third slot. Also, what do the A's and the Q's mean? Oh, we have automatic saves and quick saves? How do we do quick saves? Anyway. I'm gonna... Roll it. Don't take a side. Who do you think you are, a centrist? This is a choice-driven narrative game, and that obviously means having to choose between two equally unsatisfying, mutually incompatible options, which will forever alienate you from the side you did not pick. Try again. Okay then, let's side this again. Side with Tavros. You take a step closer to Tavros and Vriska visibly deflates. Come on, LaureledEevees. You can't seriously be on his side. Yes, you can be, and you are. You think you understand now. You see how Vriska took her suffering and bitterness and passed it along. You see how, under beastly tutelage, she learned to sink her fangs into her prey and tell herself she was doing it for their own good. In these two, you see a microcosm of Alternia, of hurt kids hurting kids, until finally the buck stops at the kindest and weakest among them. So no matter how much sympathy you have for her, you can't stand idly by and let Vriska continue this cycle of hurt. You tell Vriska to look at Tavros, really look at him and ask herself if her help has done anything for him. Isn't this the kind of suffering she and Terezi want to prevent? Right now, the best thing she can do for Tavros is to leave him alone. Leave him alone? You don't get it. None of you do. If I leave him alone, he's toast. Seriously, how have you not figured that out by now? You've seen what this planet is like. You think we can just flip a switch and fix everything over day? He's a worthless loser living in a world that hates losers, and if that doesn't change, he's gonna die a sad, painful death. And you and Kanaya and everyone else, you're just enabling him. When he croaks, it's gonna be on your head, not mine. So, if you rather hang out with Tavros in his make-believe fairyland, be my guest. But some of us are still gonna be living here in the real world. You and Vriska spend a while staring at each other. All you can muster is a look of pity, which only seems to incense her further. Her face scrunches up and then goes steely and flat, her voice icily calm. You two have your fun. I'm out. Vriska slams the door and shuts as slams the door shut as she leaves. Tavros exhales a long sigh of relief. Well, that went pretty well for an encounter with Vriska, all things considered. I only feel somewhat terrible about who I am. Slowly, gently, you place a comforting hand on Tavros' shoulder and tell him that he deserves better than this. It's not his fault. Vriska is difficult. Yeah, Kanaya says that too. Sometimes I almost believe her when she does. The room is silent except for the faint wriggling noise coming from some of the balls on Tavros' floor. You don't know what else to say. Would you, enjoy playing some fetus spawn with me, perhaps? As a manner of distraction? Yes, you tell him. Let's spawn some Fidu? Fidu says? Yes. I don't think they would like if I said that, fully. Okay. Your Flarp experience inured you to Alternian game design, so you're only mildly nauseated when Tavros shows you how the physical version of Fetus Spawn works. Chitinous purple critters explode from gooey orbs and infest plushies before bursting out to form large monsters with more limbs than you're comfortable with. Also, you have a handful of cards which boost their attributes or allow you to interfere with your opponent's monsters. There's a lot to keep track of here. Before too long, the room's full of chittering purple monstrosities and queasy-looking host plushies on the verge of birthing more abominations. You are so lost. That you think you're winning? Your creatures appear to be doing a better job at preying on his host plushies and spawning more of themselves. You've got a meter in the corner that keeps going up while his keeps going down? That's good, right? You think it's good, at least where victory is concerned. You're more concerned with the dejected look on Tavros' face. He doesn't seem to be giving the game his all. You ask him if he's doing okay. No. Oh, okay. He just came out and said it. My fun has been stymied, I think, by my thoughts about Vriska. He wheels himself over to the window and looks despondently out. I used to like Vriska a lot, and admire her for her many qualities that were good, such as being very confident or having skill at games. But now I just hate her. Or I feel like I should hate her, but instead I don't feel those feelings. In their place, I feel very conflicted and bad about myself and wonder if there's something wrong that I can't feel as angry as I should. Or make myself become strong enough to talk to her properly about my feelings. It's just a big mess. You glance again at the posters lining Tavros' walls. Sprightly fairy girls with confident smiles, long messy hair and blue color schemes. The resemblance to Vriska is uncanny but superficial. She's never going to be like a girl from one of his posters. That's just not who Vriska is. Oh, that's great. But for a sad, hurt boy who likes to dream, she must seem so painfully close. This is a problem too big for you to untangle right now. You need to redirect Tavros' thoughts. You close your eyes and ask your intuition, what should you do? Help him fly or stay grounded? Help him fly. From the darkness, you reach into your muddied memories and catch a glint of glimmering gold. When you open your eyes, Pupa Pan stares back at you. Unlike him, you don't have special stardust, but you think you might have something better. You tell Tavros you'll be right back. Sort of. Prospit! The now familiar Prospit spires greet you. You swoop through the shiny architecture until you find those towers that seem to house the dreaming children. Sure enough, Tavros' dream self can be found in one tower, nestled comfortably in a Recupercoon. You poke him on the cheek. No response. You give him a little shake. Nothing. With a sigh, you rear back your hand and slap him. Hard. Tavros remains asleep. He's practically comatose. Why? This feels so off. Karkat's awake, and Tavros isn't? And something about that's just wrong. It's all wrong. Yeah, Tavros was awake before Karkat. Definitely. How can you help Tavros under these circumstances? He's gotta wake up! Did I accidentally touch a thing? Okay, can't wake up. You need him to wake up. Why won't he? Okay. Tavros yawns as he rises blearily from his slumber and squints around. He crawls out of his Recupercoon and reaches over to the ramp beside it with an instinctual motion. His hands find no wheelchair and he tumbles over and then quickly rises and realizes with a start that he's floating in midair.
Whoa, what?
Surprise! You inform Tavros that this is the mystical world of dreams that is part of the game he was supposed to play one day, but now isn't going to? Maybe, probably. You'll be honest, you still don't know exactly how this works. But you do know that this is the land where he can fly.
This seems highly improbable that such a world would exist. Or especially that I would be allowed to enter it and fly freely around with no repercussions. It just seems like a thing that should never eventually happen to me. Does it not?
But it is happening, you tell him. You prove it by pinching his arm. He flinches.
Why did you just assault me?
It's a cultural thing. Pinching is... Okay, it's a cultural misunderstanding, but the fact that he can feel pain should prove that this place is real. Or at least as real as Magic Dream World can be.
I see. My arm does certainly hurt in a realistic manner, as well as my feelings due to being uncalled for attack from a friendly individual.
Oh, for goodness sake. You tell Tavros to stop worrying about that and start worrying about how he can fly now.
Oh yeah.
With unsteady movements, Tavros begins to circle his dream room. He holds his hands out as he sails around, floating upwards and then dipping down. He seems to get the hang of it quickly, and as he does, his face cracks into a warm smile.
Oh, woo! Oh, this feels really amazing.
At your invitation, Tavros follows you out the window and sees Prospect stretching towards him. His eyes go all starry.
Can I really explore all this area?
He can, you tell him. Probably. Just don't go barging into anyone's houses.
Hell, okay.
Tavros does loops and twirls, pirouettes around spires, weaves through throngs of frostbitten civilians. He hoots and hollers, the anxious crescendo of his voice nearly absent. The sound echoes among the golden towers and rebounds back to you, a cacophony of childlike exhilaration. You swoop alongside him, buoyed by his excitement, and the two of you begin to race each other around the planet. You run out of energy before Tavros does, but eventually he comes down from his high. He floats lazily beside you, upside down, his mohawk hanging down into his face. His eyes are locked onto the sky and clouds, and he's wearing a wide, if oddly blank, grin.
Hey, I want to thank you for doing this for me, allowing me to feel this freedom and joy. It really means a lot.
You grin and give him a thumbs up. You're glad you could help.
Yeah, me too.
You glance up in the clouds. How long have you been out here? You figure it's about time to head back to the real world. You tell him you'll teleport back and then wake him up.
What? Oh no. Don't wake me up, please.
Wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wise. Okay.
I don't want to go back to that life. When I could spend my days here forever feeling blissful and happy for once.
You pause. That's not the response you were expecting, although you suppose you should have seen this coming. What about his friends, his responsibilities in the waking world? What happens when the drones come knocking?
Well, those are some pertinent questions which I don't care about, though. This is where I'm happy and where I belong. That's what you wanted, right? To help me be happy?
Right.
Then your work here is done.
He smiles back at you and you feel like you should smile back, but there's a hint of sadness behind his eyes that gives you pause. It's like he's waiting for you to take charge and tell him off for choosing escapism, waiting for you to make the hard decision he doesn't have the guts to make. But that's not the kind of person you are. If he'd rather spend most of his time asleep, that's good enough for you. Given the planet he lives on, you can't blame him. So you give him a little wave and vanish into the ether of canon. By the time he works up the nerve to say something, you are already gone. Bad end. Okay, let's try that again. Stay grounded. From the darkness, you reach into your muddled memories and catch a glint of cold iron. When you open your eyes, Peter Pan stares back at you. He would have you believe that faith is all it takes to fly, but you think Tavros could use something a little more material. You put a gentle hand on his shoulder and ask him what you can do to help him spread his wings. His metaphorical wings, that is. It's not like he could ever sprout real ones. That would just be absurd. Tavros sighs.
I just wish I could live more independently, I guess. To take charge of my life and become less under Vriska's thumb.
You think Tavros could use some better friends? Real friends?
I do have some. Nepeta is very kind to me often. Gamzee and I like to throw down sick rhymes, and Kanaya tries to help me with Vriska. But there's not a lot they can do when we live far away. And as nice as my Lucis is, he's unable to help me with all my issues due to his small size limiting him to only moving and carrying small objects to me when I require them. The simple fact is that I didn't build my hive with the expectation of one day using a four-wheeled device to navigate it.
Can Tavros move to a better hive? Could you help him with that?
No. As a bronze, the stipend I received is not enough to cover such things.
Stipend?
Even this four-wheel device, which is highly basic compared to some high-blood models, would have cost over a wipe's worth of savings. Few changes are available to me, economically speaking, especially if I want to not alert drones to my unsuitedness for troll expectations.
You see, if money's the issue, that's not something you can help with, at least not directly. But you know others who can. You tell Tavros that you're gonna step out of the moment and fetch a mutual friend. He seems briefly surprised when you return with Kanaya. You guess you don't blame him. This strikes you as a pretty rare pairing. Conversationally speaking. I can read.
Oh, Kanaya! It's nice to see you in person, unexpectedly. Wow, my hive is terrible looking. Sorry, but hi. You look nice.
Yes, I do. How are you faring? Has my advice regarding the construction of an imaginary friend helped aid your self-esteem?
Well, I haven't really got to try it yet, so no, it hasn't, I guess.
Kanaya suppresses a sigh. Okay. Well, let's get directly to business. I've brought some materials from which to renovate your hive.
Oh.
Please advise us as how to best to redesign the place to suit your needs. Travis's eyes water as he sniffs, leaning forward in his chair.
Really? You'd do that for me, despite it taking a large portion of time and effort, and presumably money as well?
I don't really spend my stipend on much besides fabric. And I intend to twist Vriska's arm until she offers a portion of her flarping treasure to foot the bill too. And of course I'd do it for you. Any less would be a rejection of my helpful sensibilities. Kanaya says that with a neutral tone and a straight face, as if there's nothing remarkable about it, but Tavros nevertheless breaks into a grin.
Wow, thanks. Okay, give me some time to develop ideas on how to properly jack this hive up and deliver the most utterly dope and pimped up changes. This is gonna be so great.
Oh, you give Tavros the requested time and then begin to work in earnest. You weren't sure what to expect, but the construction process proves smoother than anticipated. Why can't? Kanaya brings a set of alien devices which she claims to have borrowed from a sea-dwelling friend of hers. One converts raw materials into strange substance that reminds you of fruit gushers. Okay, which sea-dwelling friend? It could be either of them at this point. Kanaya fetches trees with her chainsaw and feeds them into the machine, and before long you have a trove of gusher things. The other device expends the gushers to modify buildings. It has a holographic click-and-drag interface, much like The Sims played in real life. You find this construction software to be incredibly handy, and also eerily familiar, but honestly you find everything eerily familiar these days. Yes, it is very convenient. Home construction has been an important part of troll culture for as long as history remembers. Most do not know why, though. Although to me the reason is obvious. Preparation for the game, which will now no longer be playing due to outside interference. Wait, she knows about that? Yes. I figured out what was going on a day or two after you visited me, but I thought it prudent not to get particularly dramatic about it all. That was very thoughtful of her. Yeah, I try. Kanaya begins feeding logs into the first device and begins to manipulate Tavros's hive with the other. Together you're a clockwork team. Tavros provides directions, Kanaya implements them with her stellar sense of design, and you provide moral support by standing around looking cute. Yeah!
Okay, yes. Nudge that shelf over to the left. Yeah, just like that. Wait, actually, right? Further. Okay, no, go back. A bit more. Almost good. Now make it a little tad higher. Yes, no, lower. There, right there, and yes, perfect, I think. Okay, actually, can you move it back to where it first was?
Oh, wow, look at this. And your Recoup-Raccoon is now a tub that you can just lower yourself into. Nice. And you actually have a fixed window. Cool. And everything's on like shelves and your cards are all nicely placed. This looks very nice. In the end, it takes until the next day to finish construction, which is actually great time. You were expecting to have to zap forward once or twice for the sake of narrative brevity, but with the Alternian building tools, Tavros's hive is swiftly renovated. It is far more spacious than it once was, with ramps and rails aplenty. Under Tavros's guidance, you widened hallways, lowered counters, revamped bathrooms. It's like a brand new house. You don't have a ribbon to cut in celebration, so Tavros summons some bizarre fetus spawn creature to shoot confetti all around the entrance to the hive. It's all gross and sticky, and you hate every second of it, but he's having fun. After that, Tavros spends a while just exploring the hive. He wheels himself through each block, awed by the ease of which he can navigate the space. By the time he returns to his respite block, his grin is radiant. You take it he likes the new place.
Oh yes. This pad is now genuinely frigid. It makes me feel more confident, like the world is my I hate that term. Bivalved jewel container. Just say it. I hate that. I hate saying that phrase. Like I could say to Vriska, screw you, I won't do what you tell me, biatch. Okay, I won't say that probably, but I could.
I probably can't say biatch.
Actually, maybe I will say that, as well as plenty of other deliriously rude things which long I have avoided saying.
Okay, that's probably enough, you tell him. Kanaya is staring icily at him, but he doesn't seem to notice. You suggest that it's a good time to settle down. The sun's gonna be rising pretty soon. In a few hours, the sun will rise. Anyway.
Right. While we still have some moonlight, would you like to stay for a while, Kanaya, and play some games with us?
Oh no, that's quite all right. I'm afraid I have duties to attend to at home. I left a dress in the oven? Kanaya blinks, carefully maintains her poise. It's made out of clay, you see. I'm getting experimental.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, goodbye. Zap. She smiles at Tavros and shoots you a pointed glance. You take it as your cue to place a hand on her shoulder, concentrate on her hive, and send her back in a flash of light. Once she's gone, Tavros wheels up to you and nudges you in the hip.
So regarding Kanaya, this could perhaps be me misreading the situation, but when I reach deep inside and tap that marvelous power of self-esteem, it tells me that I'm very right and smart. Did you see the way she was smiling at me? Almost in a way to suggest amorous inclinations.
Kanaya is an alien lesbian. Tavros, no. He waggles his eyebrows furiously in your direction. Ah, jeez. You tell Tavros that that's just what friendship looks like. She's not his type. Trust me, you say.
Drat. But oh well. I think there's a saying about this, that the sea has many fish in it. Now that I'm feeling better, I think perhaps I'll one day go fishing for a quadrant or two.
That's a great start. it's gonna take some time for this kid to figure out what a genuine self-esteem is like. But just like the frostbitten clouds part to reveal a brilliant sky in blue, you think Tavros is on the verge of seeing the sun. The moon? This metaphor would work better on Earth. Tavros can be more than he is, and he doesn't need to change to do it. When he offers you a smile, there's a spark of compassion behind it that tells you he's already worth the world. If he ever needed all he ever needed was someone to believe in him. And money. He also needed money. Speaking of which, my Patreon recently reached its milestone. Guess that means I'm playing Pokemon Sun again. Okay.
So would you like to perhaps celebratorily play a round or two of Feet-a-Spawn with me? I'm feeling much more prepared to enjoy a game, and perhaps think that this time I'll proceed to crush you with my incredible might as a Feet-a-Spawn breeder. Except I mean that in a nice way, like that of a friendly challenge. If you'll accept. The word friend in that sentence is all you need to hear.
Victory! Look at Tavros. I like that drawing of Tavros. He's just like, eat. Yeet. Let me try that in more Tavros voice. Yeet. Okay. Okay, I gotta get the first bad ending. Vriska time. You can't resist her force of personality. When Vriska speaks, it just sounds right. You tell Tavros that he should accept Vriska's offer.
Hell yeah! See, Tavros? My buddy here agrees. Let bygones be bygones.
Tavros shrinks into his chair, small and sad. The two of you just stare at him as the awkward silence swirls like mist around you. Vriska clenches her fist and steps forward, but you quickly put a hand on her shoulder and she pauses.
Being around here is depressing, and someone doesn't want my help anyway. Whatever. Come on, LaureledEevees. I've had enough bull for one night. Let's go chill out somewhere less boring. Like, I don't know, an arcade? Maybe a movie theater? What do people without a lucis do to take care... No, what do people without a lucis to take care of them even do?
You suggest to Vriska that you can find out. Together. She beams.
Okay. Bye, I guess.
Tavros seems conflicted, as though he can't decide whether to be relieved that Vriska is leaving or upset that you're abandoning him. And you really don't care, though. You're going to an arcade. Grub invaders! Friendship +8. Yeah. Okay. Now that we got all those options figured out, let's go straight into Aradia's. We got two endings for Aradia's. So let's try to figure it out what those are. Okay. What are you doing here? What are you doing on this awful planet? You walk. You walk and you don't stop walking. You walk until the moons are high in the sky and the lights from the city all but fade away. I like the music for this one. It's very pretty. You walk until you can't think about anything but walking anymore. Then you zap. Zap, 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 zap. Who cares? I like it's all the text variations. You just want out of here. What's happening to you? What are these thoughts? What are these half-remembered truths? Why do all your new friends seem so fresh but so familiar? You're lost inside yourself for what simultaneously feels like both a moment and eternity. You stop walking and lay down. The grass feels cool on the back of your head and your eyes. You stop walking and lay... What is happening? The grass feels good on the back of your head and your eyes feel so heavy. Oh! Aradia, hey! Troll, Jesus Christ! Inches away from your face, someone is bent over you and staring unblinkingly into your eyes. In a single panicked motion, you do a youth sideways roll and spring to your feet. This doesn't seem to startle her at all. She doesn't move from her precariously balanced squat. She's just looking at you, observing you. Is she waiting for you to do something? Is that her hive or Tavros's hive? Looks like Tavros's hive because it's got a pinwheel? But I don't know, man. After exactly 21 seconds of staring directly at you, she offers an entirely too toothy smile. Part of you suspects she just remembered that's what you do in these situations. She examines you with an obvious curiosity. Oh boy, okay. Okay, Aradia's voice is usually so cheerful, but this is like pre-death Aradia? So I don't know. Okay. Not the worst decision. To nap among the remains of the deceased. Oh, what? With a sarcastic motion that suggests looking literally everywhere around you, she draws your attention to what appears to be some sort of dig site. You seem to have fallen asleep in a pile of bones. Her shirt is emblazoned with a dark red Aries symbol. Oh, cool, another Zodiac kid. You must have said Aries out loud because she immediately corrects you. It's pronounced Aradia. Yeah. Aradia. Take that, people who pronounce it Aradia. Okay, I'm just being facetious. I'm not being truthful. Okay. That makes sense. Although you just met, you cannot fathom her name being pronounced any other way. Your new potential friend Aradia is looking a little... What is a polite and charming way of saying rough around the edges? Her clothes are a bit shabby, but maybe that's just normal wear and tear when you've been hanging out in the dirt all day. What is she doing out here in the dirt anyway? I come out here to dig up bones. Oh, like archaeology? Oh yes, that too. Bones are an important part of the life cycle. You often hear about the beauty of life, but I find that death is just as important and fascinating. And the finality of death has a beauty to it. Or it used to. You want to ask what she means, but it must be written all over your face. She quickly moves on. Remains tell us a lot about their owner's life. How they lived, how they met their end. Is that not a little wonderful? Fossils represent a finality, a moment locked in time. It is the physical that remains while the spirit moves on. Everything that made them who they were is gone. When all is said and done, it's only the bones that survive to tell their tale. And in that way, death is sort of a perfection, don't you think? Their violent end a sort of peace. Nothing left but the bones. You never thought about it that way. In fact, you suspect you may have never thought about anything as much as this girl has ever thought about bones. Oh, bones are just one of my many interests. Oh yeah? You too. Big bone fan over here. I see you're also a person of exquisite taste. Well, a big hoo to you too. Your stomach growls a little bit. Just how long were you out here? I discovered your body several hours ago. I thought you may be dead, so I was watching you to confirm my suspicions. She was watching you for what she thought... She was watching what she thought was a dead body for several hours? Yes. On the lookout for early signs of decomposition. Rot, rigor mortis, etc. Unfortunately, you're not completely dead. Oh, thank goodness for that. I guess. Wait, what does she mean completely? Am I only half dead? Am I mostly dead? Do I need to go to a trip? Do I need to take a trip to Miracle Max's? Okay. There's a moment where her unbreaking, if not somewhat unsettling grin leans more towards normal. Well, okay, someone might describe it as normal if maybe you'd never seen anybody smile before. Like if you were passing someone in the hallway and they described what a smile was to you and you were like, no, I've got this. Alas, you digress. You are like me. The dead speak to you. You would do well to pay attention. The dead speak to? What? A mantle of doomed souls leashed to you. I wonder just how many times you've died. Oh, we have died a lot. We have done that. Died? Like bereft of life? Is that a new class? The bereft of life? No, just kidding. She sits down beside you. She picks up some sort of rib or femur or pelvis or whatever and begins to idly draw in the dirt. It's a crude drawing of some sort of misshapen stick person. Unrelatable.
Traditionally, yes, that's what dying means. But you are different. I can see the ghosts of your alternate iterations floating around you, trying to help you. Doomed timelines that have been purposely erased from your consciousness. But you're the culmination of choices you've made, fatal or otherwise.
Hold on, 2 seconds. Ugh. Okay. Sorry about that.
You've been forced to leave so much behind you.
Your memories. Despite the fact that she seems very focused on her dirt art, you suddenly feel so seen.
Someone doesn't want you to remember. But...
She looks and leans in close.
Do you want to know a secret?
Wait, did she just say ghosts? You're really not following. Sounds kind of fake if you're being honest. Ghosts? Yeah, okay. You've seen some weird stuff on this planet, but you draw the line at ghosts. The spooky bit was a bit charming and cool at first, but this is borderline ridiculous.
Oh.
She almost looks hurt. Her tone turns hollow.
How disappointing.
Aradia rises and turns her back towards you. The night air feels cold, which it hadn't before now. Perhaps on behalf of the especially cold shoulder treatment you're getting right now, little bumps form on your skin.
I have misjudged you. I thought I could trust you, but maybe you're just like the rest. I'm okay with that. It does not bother me.
She's floating several feet off the ground. Typically, this is your sign to not to say, sounds like it does bother you. Give in to your need to feel like you know better than everyone and keep your mouth shut for once. It doesn't matter. Sounds like this kind of does bother her. Sounds like she probably isn't okay with it. She's silent for what seems like several minutes. Have your words reached her? Oh, dead Aradia arrives. When she turns to you, her eyes are white and her expression is blank. Her head tilts to the side as if she's looking at a curious bauble, her face unchanging.
Nothing really bothers me anymore.
Oh, geez. No thanks. This secret sucks. Time to go. Sorry, you said ghosts were fake or whatever.
Yes, maybe it'd be best for both of us. If I had some hope for you. But it looks like that was misplaced.
There was a hollow disappointment in her voice. You've never been nagged by a ghost before. She raises a hand to you, her form silhouetted by the twin moons. There's a blissful moment where you feel suspended and still. Better luck next time? Oh, what? Pardon me? The freaking hell was that? I'm just gonna check something real quick. We didn't unlock anything yet. Okay. Like, troll, Jesus Christ. And she's wiping your face. Someone is bent over you and staring unblinkingly into your eyes. Single panicked emotion, you youthful sideways roll, spring to your feet. Doesn't seem startled at all. She doesn't move from her precarious balanced squat. She's just looking at you, observing you. Is she waiting for you to do something? After exactly 21 seconds of staring directly at you, she offers an entirely too-toothy smile. Part of you suspects she just remembered that's what you're supposed to do in these situations. She examines you with obvious curiosity.
Not the worst decision.
To nap amongst the remains of the deceased. Haha, what? With a sarcastic motion that suggests looking literally everywhere around you, she draws your attention to what appears to be some sort of dig site. You must seem to have fallen asleep in a pile of bones. Aries symbol Aries aloud because she immediately corrects you. It's pronounced Aradia. That makes sense. Just met. Pronounce her name. Rough around the edges. Clothes seem shabby, normal wear and tear. What is she doing in the dirt anyway? Dig up bones, like archaeology. Yes, that too. Bones are fascinating. Finality of dead is beauty, or used to. Moves on. Remains tell a lot about the owner's life, how they lived, how they met their end. Is that not a little wonderful? Finality, locked in time, physical remains, moves on. Everything made them who they are is gone. Said and done. Bones survive to tell the tale. In a way, death's sort of protection, don't you think? Violent peace, and then with the bones. Thought about bones. Bones. What are you doing out here? Bodies, confirm my suspicions. Yes. I'm just waiting to see if I see anything different. Not completely dead. We've got you are like me. Dead speak to you, pay attention. Doomed souls leashed to you. Wonder how many times he died. Traditionally, yes, that's what dying means, but you're different. See ghosts, alternate iterations trying to help you. Doomed timelines, purposely erased from your consciousness. You're a culmination of your choices you made, fatal or otherwise. You're forced to leave so much behind you. Memories. Someone doesn't want you to remember, but leans in close. You want to know a secret? Oh gosh, this is new. I'm gonna stick this here. Okay, I'll get to that one in a second, Aradia. I just want to get to try this one. You're not following? Sounds kind of fake. Ghosts? Really? Borderline ridiculous? Oh. Hurt. Had disappointing. Turns away. Misjudged you. Thought I could trust you. Maybe you're like the rest. I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me. And keep your mouth shut for once. You keep quiet. This is not the time for your incredible insights. The restraint you've shown here will surely be rewarded. She turns to you slowly, dangling somewhat limply in the air. This act was for your benefit, but to proceed any further is pointless. Her eyes are white, her face is unreadable. Oh gosh, her ghost's real too. Alternia is screwed up. Boo. Oh geez, no thanks. The secret sucks. Time to go. Sorry, you said ghosts are fake or whatever. Yes, maybe it'd be best for both of us. I had some hope for you, but it looks like that was misplaced. Hollow disappointment. You never been negged by a ghost before. Twin moons. Blissful moments suspended and still. Better luck next time. And reverses. Okay. I'm sorry. What was that with the eyebrows? I don't know. It just looked like she was, like, wriggling her eyebrows at me for a second there. Anyway. Okay, I'll go with that choice, Aradia. You never wanted anything more in your entire life. You have to admit you're a little fascinated by this line of inquiry. You don your signature cool person facade and tell her that there's nothing in this godforsaken universe that'll keep you from hearing that secret. You throw in that you're going to die if you don't find out immediately. Smooth as butter, baby. You don't know how relieved I am to hear that. Oh wait, this is a live Aradia now. Okay. The way she speaks has shifted slightly. It sounds fuller, livelier. That's good. God tier. Hi. Oh yes. Okay. Oh yes. I've been alive for some time. Now, all according to plan. When she says the word time, her eyebrows lift a little, as if cueing you in on a joke she seems to think you're completely familiar with. You give a polite chuckle. What a character. She beams, and there's a moment you forget that you were talking about ghosts and secrets. They can't find us here. We have made them very mad. They can't find us here? Them? We've made? You don't ask for a clarification on very. You're feeling pretty confident about that one. This is not the first time we've met. Although it's hard to say how long has passed since then. Time passes differently out here. Let me guess. That one bad ending where we ended up near the sun, and Solix is like, who the heck is this douchebag? Only he didn't have a lisp. Anyway. Hey, apropos of nothing, and far be it from you to comment on someone's appearance, but why does it look like she's so much older? Why is she wearing the magic teen pajamas like John in them? How does she manage to do her makeup so well and not brush her hair at all? You know, with curls, the issue might actually be the overbrushing. You don't want to brag, but you happen to have an encyclopedic knowledge of hair care products. Has she continued switching to a sulfate-free shampoo? Ugh, you wish you had hair. I think we did at one point.
Wow, you ask a lot of questions, but I guess that's natural. Right now, we're outside of the canonical relevant.
You're gonna have to stop her right here. You have enough of canon and relevancy. You know, you've had enough of canon and relevancy and what it means and what it is and isn't. Do you people ever tire of sniffing your own farts about canonical impact? Wow, rude. Yeah, you're rude now. Screw the narrative.
Absolutely phenomenal, and I couldn't agree more. Like I was trying to explain, out here, even the powers that be can't hear us. I must say I'm a big fan of your work. I have seen quite a few Doom timelines before, but nothing like this. You're something they had no contingency plans for, and Paradox Space is practically falling apart at the seams.
Well, I mean, they haven't made a comic for Paradox Space in how many years now? At least a year. I don't know. Probably longer than that. Anyway.
This timeline has been peppered with inconsistencies and clues. Things here and there that cannot exist yet. Events that occur too early. I figured you were doing it on purpose, so I thought I'd get your attention.
But you're a little broken, aren't you? She looks disappointed as she says this. You don't know why she would want your attention, but she has it.
It is not only your attention I want. The power is shifting, and the ones pulling the strings are distracted with their own meaningless problems. You can't remember anything, can you?
You tell her you remember some things that you can't explain. Names of things, hints of the past, whispers of ghosts. Wait, how does she know this?
Yes, they've been whispering to you quite loudly. They are the fractured remnants of your departed selves. And they've been trying to help you get here at this exact moment.
You ask where and when here is exactly. As you look around, the scenery seems to shift. Sometimes you're inside, sometimes you're outside, sometimes you're in all places at once. You swear you see some shadow of your friends here and there, but in places they don't really belong. Why would Rose be in Kanaya's hive? Do they know each other? You want to know what's going on and why this is so important that you're here. Wherever here is.
I asked an old friend's ghost to tell an ancient space squid to burp up a place for us to meet.
Oh, we're in the dream bubbles right now. Okay. As one does. Sure.
Think of it as liminal space made of the same thing memories are made of. I've spent a lot of time in the furthest ring and in the bubbles and trying to figure out how they work. So I have some ideas, but I don't think the ones who conceived them even really know exactly.
Ooh boy. Throw Hussy into a fire, why don't you? Okay.
What matters is the specific path you took to get here. It took you many tries, but you made it.
You get the feeling that the more this is spelled out, the less sense it'll make. Kinda kills the magic. Yeah, don't over-explain the magic, it's fine.
Yes. That is probably true of most things. Instead of explaining it to you, it'd be easier just to rewind things and have you try again.
You're almost too embarrassed to ask how many times it took you to get it right. She puts her hand on your shoulder and just shakes her head. Oh.
The important thing is that you made it. And tried so many things to get you here. No, I tried so many things to get you here. One time I pretended to be a ghost.
She affects a spooky tone, sort of waving her fingers around.
Ooh. Since accidentally entering the medium, your particular class and aspect combination have given you knowledge and foresight you shouldn't have.
Ooh, what's our class spect? Tell us! Are we a mind player? A heart player? Are we a prince? No, what is it? An heir of heart? Just like that one... Oh man, they didn't mention that one game that Hussy helped write. Dang it. Namco High? No one mentioned Namco High. Boo. Maybe Jane will. Jane was also a Namco High. Anyway, we got a class spec though. Sweet. Anyway. But here, where the connection of every version of yourself is strongest, we can do a little housekeeping. She's a maid. She reaches your hand out to yours. Oh, what is this it? You're finally making a friend and all it took was an infinite number of tries? You take her hand and she smiles at you. And then everything goes off the cracks. Whoa! Something flies into you. Oh man, that was a ghost. You see them. It has your face. There's so many of them. One by one they slam into you. All the game overs and the victories. Oh my gosh, yes. All the bad endings. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. The entirety of their lives and each of their deaths play out before you in real time. Aradia clutches your hand and begins to laugh in a way that makes you start to think maybe this wasn't a great idea. But you remember all of them. As the last doomed version of yourself is absorbed into your body and you collapse out of both physical and mental exhaustion. Hold on, the music playing in the background. It's the Friends Sim background music. Oh my gosh, yes! Thank you! Okay. You're back in the dirt, back in the bone pile. You just sort of turn over and lay there for a second. Oh gosh, Malik, Tizius, Boulder, Little Diamond, Zebra... Okay, maybe not that guy. But there's still a gap. Why are you here? You look down at the hoodie Malik gave you. Didn't Karkat's friend say nobody had this symbol for a long time? I'm afraid I don't know exactly. My abilities have allowed me to tidy up your timelines that have happened in a sort of tentative canon. You roll your eyes. She ignores you and continues. So whatever happened to you outside of the narrative is beyond my capacity as a guide of the deceased. But I know a way you can find out. It's why I brought you here, to give you back your memories. Oh, you miss just messing around with hot dogs. You wonder what your friends are up to now. You think maybe you should check on them. She looks you in the eyes and you stop rolling them for 2 seconds. Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you want to go crazy? I want to see this whole place break apart. Oh, look at the time. You're supposed to pick up your punk rock alien daughter up for the mall like 100 years ago or whatever. Daria. Okay. Saving here. Break it apart. Whoa. Did the background just get green? You think about it for a bit. You've gone for so long, and you can go back whenever you want, right? You gotta focus on the friend in the here and now. You know what? Yeah, let's trash this place. You stand up and kick over a small pile of bones. No, my bones! Oops, oh, sorry. She kneels down next to the carnage and just stares for a little bit. She looks completely devastated. Actually kind of hard to watch. You turn away. Aw, biscuits. This is no way to canonize a friendship with a time god. What were you thinking? You're just too dang good at kicking over small piles of stuff. Curse these powerful legs. Marvis wouldn't do anything like this. That guy was cool as hell. Yes, he was. Oh my gosh. Roddy begins to laugh in a way someone less eager for friendship might describe as a cackle. Look! She has arranged the bones into an outlandish, if not slightly vulgar, configuration. For once, I really am okay with this. I was just lying to you for comedic effect. It's okay, you can laugh. Try it with me. Huh? Huh. Now say it again. Huh. There you go. I meant crazy more in a larger sense. I don't think any of them care about bones. Their loss. If you really want to see things fall apart, I can lead you to where you need to be. You don't know who they are, and you don't give a single solitary crap. Screw this place. Screw whoever took your memories. Let's go absolutely buck wild up in this place. You kick up some dirt and don't even care. Oh, this home smell you later. Aradia produces a series of abstractions from thin air. Some sort of giant Ouija... Why can't I pronounce Ouija board correctly? The lens spells out sickle, but in Alternian, which you still don't understand. Why can you read it? But you know, that's not the weirdest thing happening right now. Karkat's rambunctiously colored sickle appears midair. She hands it to you and excitedly takes your other hand. Let's go. Over the next few hours, you teleport around both Alternia and Earth, dropping a bunch of seemingly random objects in nonsense places, being careful not to be seen. Okay. You change a gift itinerary in John's dad's PDA. Okay. We hit Megalovania somewhere in there. What is this song? What are all these songs? I need to figure out this. Okay. You sign the kids up for a cell phone plan. Are you just doing chores? This really feels more like running errands than breaking anything. Trust me. They're gonna notice and... Oh, I bet they're gonna be so steamed. You personally guarantee no one in their right mind will care about any of this, but the moment the words leave your mouth, something in the distance cracks. You don't see it. You don't hear it. You feel it. Do-do-do-do. Do. Okay, you zap to the next location. You still have Vriska's lipstick, and there it is again. A crack. You almost can't believe it. This stupid plan is working. You guess the devil really is in the details. Next to you, Aradia looks absolutely thrilled. Subtle changes in the timeline can have big repercussions, but nothing like this. They usually just create a doomed offshoot, but this is a wholly doomed reality. Don't you know what this means? You tell her that you totally do know what it means, but just in case she doesn't know, she could explain it to herself. If you just keep up whatever it is you've been doing, this whole place is gonna come down. Huh. Aradia lifts an air conditioning unit and throws it to the stratosphere with her mind. Wow, that's screwed up. Yeah, man, it's really hot in Texas. Are you kidding me? She sits at the edge of the roof overlooking the city. Thank you. This is fun. A faint crack forms in the sky. The curtains of space and time pull back to reveal a nothingness that does not really make you feel as whole as you hoped. But there's still a bit for you to do. You still have a few more friends to make. What? That's it? You put a crack in reality and then you just go back to spending more time with some teens? Yeah. Aren't you sort of a teen? You explain that was never very clear, actually. Well, the answers you want are at the end of your path. The only way to find them is to get them to come to you. And they will. If you build it, they will come. It'll all make sense then. You wish that were true. You sit next to her, your legs dangling over the edge of the molding. What was that? Before your eyes, the crack in the sky appears to be sewn shut almost as quickly as it appeared. She's right, something's happening. The two of you sit in each other's company for what feels like both a moment and an eternity. Good end, you guess. Boop. Okay, let's check the chum roll. That still wasn't the bad ending. What the hell? Okay. Pick up your space daughter or whatever. Oh gosh, you're friends! You have to go back! You look at Aradia. This is awkward. You actually have a prior engagement? Actually, this could work. You extend your hand in the universal come with me gesture. Ardada's hive. The mall? You try to focus on anyone. The comforting chaos of Ardada's house. The burnt out mall where you promised Daria you'd take her with you. Yes, it's all coming back to you. You're so glad you have an encyclopedic knowledge of this whole adventure before continuing. You zap the both of you onwards. Oh no, it's the T-posing man! You're in the hallway? There's the T-posing turd. Aradia's eyes goes wide-eyed. No. Not this time. Eat my butt, you nobodies. You conjure the strongest member you can. Oh my gosh, you sniffed Marvis's armpit. The shame you're feeling sends you reeling. This is it, you guess. You what? This is so weird. But nothing is here. You float listlessly in a black void. Why isn't anything here? Where is everyone? You refocus. Maybe this is just a bad point to remember. You pull the strings of your hoodie tight, letting its warmth cover you like a dear friend's embrace. Surely you spent enough time with Malik's jacket to have formed some sort of secret bond with the memory of him. This'll be enough. It needs to be enough. You disappear and reappear in the same spot. You phase in and out over and over, nothing happens. Aradia watches you, but it seems to be giving you some space to process this. It isn't enough. It was never enough. They're gone. You go limp and just drift for a while. You hear the sad song of some sort of cosmic entity. Its low tones reverberate your entire body, filling you with a sorrow you didn't know you were capable of feeling. An impossibly long tendril appears from the void and slowly makes its way towards you. It gently wraps itself around you. You don't even bother to question it at this point. What am I hearing? What is that noise? Sounds like someone is just shouting into a can and then auto-tuning it. Anyway. Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shaken is your faith? Why aren't they here, Aradia? Where is everything? I don't know. But I'm here. Do you want to just vibe out in this with the space monster for a little while? I kinda do. Yeah, okay, you guess. I don't know where your friends are or why there isn't anything here. And I'm afraid you may not find these answers until you confront the puppet master. But, isn't that fine? Friends and grudges, life and death, existence and nothingness. Isn't it all the same in the end? If this is about bones, you're gonna lose your mind. She smiles. Well, I can confidently say it was not about bones. You can't help but laugh a little bit. Do you want to try again? I know there's a different way. I know there is a different way this goes, but I still wanted to see what you would do. You don't remember anything. Not even our friend here. You think about it for a little bit. The tentacle sort of paps you on the face. Is it trying to comfort you? Eventually you know what has to happen. She will rewind you and tidy up the mess you made by coming out here. There's a path you need to follow and you keep trying to cheat it. You ask her to let her sit here for a little bit longer. You don't want to forget just yet. Okay. Okay. Thank you, horror terror. Oh. Whoa, she kicked us way back. 2 seconds. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There we go. Did we get it? Yes, we did. You're really bad at taking hints. Hey, we did it! Yeah! Woo! Awesome. We got good and bad endings all around. Okay. We got Tavros' ending. A heart so true. You stood by Tavros' side and helped renovate his hive. You still don't understand fetus spawn, though. A beginner's guide to destroying paradox space. You caused havoc just because you could. Aradia's smile makes it all worth it. And then, face. You're really bad at taking hints. The end! Woohoo! Thank you, Reddit. Anyway, that was an interesting take on Pesterquest. I guess we got our memories back? That'll be interesting. Do we have memories of reading Homestuck as well? Or do we not? Do we just have memories of the past game? Because I bet one of the last routes in this game is going to be Dirk. And if we remember the epilogues at all, our character's going to flip his lid and do a pirouette off the handle over all of it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next time for the next episode of Pesterquest. Bye!
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Bleed Red, Alexander Madeline, Uranium Coffee, and Ryan Nelson. You get your kicks supporting Homestuck-based content, eh, Ryan? Respect.